decided we were going to talk about divorce. And it's real strange because yesterday we celebrated our 63rd wedding anniversary, and no divorce here. And I keep telling her another 63 years, but not really. But my dad was married 5 times. My mom was married 4 times. And she's a child of divorce too. So tell them about your dad and your mom.
Well, when I was 7, I guess it was, my mom and dad decided to separate and divorce, and my dad got custody of my brother and I, and so we grew up with my dad there and my grandma, and I saw a lot of sadness it involved around my dad's divorce, a loneliness, wishing this had never been type of thing. And so I remember that really, really, really well. So it stuck with me so that it changed my mind over a period of time about divorce.
And my folks, it was a little bit different. When they got divorced when I was 4, and the neighbors down the road, they asked them to be my foster parents, and they said yes. And so I was raised by the neighbors for the next 14 years of my life. And it just, I always wondered why my mom and dad deserted me or abandoned me. And that became a big issue in my life. It wasn't until I was in my 50s that a good Christian friend recommended a book on abandonment. And I realized that's what really happened to me. And then I was able to, with the Lord's help, to live through that and to reconcile it in my life. But Deloris and I just have a little bit different idea on divorce and the results of divorce and what it comes to. And I think that that's really helped us through all of this. Not that we haven't had hard times occasionally, but it was just, I think she describes it pretty well when what happened with you and me concerning divorce.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Okay, well, you've said it so beautifully so many times that there was a time in our relationship, early relationship, where it was tough.
It was tough, and Tracy doesn't remember so much that I talked about leaving and did leave a couple of times, but God never let me go through with anything on that. He always held my heart back, always kept me in there, and as I look back on it now, things weren't really that bad. I don't know what I was thinking. So anyway, we came to the point to where there is no option of divorce in our home. There just isn't any. There's no reason for it. Work it through. That's what God has said to us.
And we have. And it took a lot on both of our parts to do that. But the results are 63 years, and it's getting better every year. And I tell people this, and it'll probably embarrass her a lot, but I love this lady more now than I did when we first met and when we first got married. It's just been a growing experience for both of us.
And one thing that I wanted to mention in there too, as far as keeping away from divorce, is having a sense of humor.
The Lord is speaking.
Having a sense of humor in your marriage, be able to laugh at each other and yourself, and with love, of course, and things just, I don't know, they just have a way of being a lot easier to get through.
And I just can't imagine anyone laughing at me. I'm so perfect and everything. But I guess something that we learned a long time ago at a conference, and I think it's still true today, that when a young boy and a young girl are interested in each other, they look at each other and the girl says, well, what does he want me to be? And the guy says, well, what does she want me to be? And then they build this image that they present to each other. And then they get married, and it's 2 images that are not really the people.
Real.
They're not real, and they get together, and all of a sudden, they have to start living with the reality of who they are. And I think that causes a lot of divorce in our country. And you got a 50-50 chance, and sometimes I think it's More than 50% chance of divorce when you get married, but
Well, when you're a Christian, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and even Christians, yeah. But you know, it's been a good 63 years. We've learned and we've grown. But the main thing is, I think, is that we've tried to center our life in Christ, because Christ has been so important to us.
Perry Tankersley wrote a poem that's been all over the United States and framed in gold, and it's called "Marriage Takes Three." And he talks in that poem about how Christ needs to be in there with you.
Yes.
And he does. Yeah, he does.
Yeah. And when he is, it's a great run, I'll tell you, and we're still enjoying it. And so, I'd just like to say, be yourself to people, and young people especially, be yourself. And I guess you could call this our witness to you,
Testimony.
a testimony.